Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel to another WIP and CHAT here at Diamonds and Sparkles. In this week's WIP and CHAT, I'm not going to start a section from scratch because today has been hectic already. And today is Friday because usually at this time I would already have my WIP and CHAT up, but I decided to change a little bit the schedule for April, and during the month of April I'm going to be uploading my WIP and CHATs on Saturday if everything goes according to plan. So that means that today that I'm recording this is not a Thursday as I usually do them, but it's a Friday. And today is already, what, 4 something p.m.? Yeah, it's 4, a quarter to 5, basically. And you guys, it's been a hectic day. But let's start talking first about all the things diamond painting. And after that, I'll get a little bit into the rest. So, it seems that every single week, it's a diamond painting tragedy of sorts for me, because one of the diamond painting releases from Diamond Art Club last week became a must-have for me, and I decided that I didn't care. I was gonna get it when it was released, and I was determined. Like, I honestly was so determined. And by the time Saturday came up, I am 2 hours ahead. I am in Central Standard Time, and I think the releases are in Eastern Time. So by the time it's the release for me, it's 10:30 a.m. already. So I don't struggle with that during the weekends, like waking up. It's not that early, 9 a.m. anyways, but yeah. So I was in bed still. I was reading, and I saw that it was about to be 10:30 for me, so 8:30 before the official release. And I'm Ruby tier, so I knew that I could access beforehand, and I was decided. I got into the page, I grabbed my laptop, got into the page, and I got the diamond painting that I wanted from Yume Art, and I was really happy about it. And I was just so excited because I already had 2 diamond paintings coming in the mail that Monday, and knowing that the next week I was gonna get another diamond painting, I was just ecstatic. But life happens. Life always happens, right? And sometimes we have to put our priorities straight, and I had to cancel my order. I had to cancel it, and I said, okay, maybe if things get better and if it's already, if it's still available by Monday, I'm gonna get it by Monday. And then Monday arrived, it was still available, but my situation had not changed, so I couldn't get it. And I was really sad, really sad. I didn't tell my boyfriend I canceled it. Later on, he asked me like, oh, when is your new diamond painting coming? And I told him like, oh no, I canceled it. And he just went like, oh, why did you cancel it, and blah blah. And I was like, well, we have to pay this and that, and I don't think it's responsible for me to get a diamond painting, and I have 2 coming in the mail soon, and I'm gonna be doing those in the meantime. And he got really sad for me. He was like, no, but you were really anticipating that, because when that came out, I showed it to him, and I was like, this is me. This is this diamond painting is me. And he just agreed so much, and he was really excited for me as well. But I had to cancel it. I am an adult. I am a responsible adult, so I had to do it. Probably once it comes back in stock, I am able to get it. But for now, farewell my diamond painting. So that was really sad. That was the same Saturday, I think. By 4 or 5 p.m. I already had canceled my purchase, if I am correct. I really don't know exactly, but yeah, it was quite sad. And it's always surprising how quick customer service is with Diamond Art Club. I hopefully can purchase one soon. This week I am not going to be able to purchase one, even though I really want one. I have one that I saw it, and it's immediately, it's a must-have for me. If I could, it would be an instant buy, but yeah, I'm not in the position to make instant pies for now, at least. So that was Margaret Morales once. I don't remember the name of the kit because it has a strange name, but it's just my vibe. The softness of the artwork and the color palette is all blues and purples and pastels. It's just so pretty. I am always astounded at how talented some people are, especially for things like music or drawing. Jesus, I wish I could, but I am not like that. I am not that much of a creative person. I enjoy creative things, but I'm not one to create those creative things. I'm saying everything and nothing at the same time. So yeah. On another note, so far it's been a week. Well, not a week entirely. It's been, today's the 5th, I think. Yeah, today's April 5th, and I put some goals to myself for my channel for the month of April, where I said that I wanted to upload at least one extra video a week, and I think I did 2 or 3. I don't even know, but I'm having so much fun, and that is only because I have a plenty of free time in my hands right now, and I know it's probably not a sustainable thing to do, but so far I'm enjoying it. I really enjoyed doing all of these videos, and yeah, it gives me an excuse to do something else than just my regular things. So that is just for I mean, this is like a trial thing for the month of April, and depending on how I feel, I will see if moving forwards I'm going to be keeping this schedule that I started this month, or if I'm going to modify it. What I want is to, of course, always keep enjoying the craft, and also doing YouTube, because doing YouTube is in itself another hobby that is related to diamond painting, because I made my channel for diamond painting content, but I don't want it to feel like a chore. I want it to be very conscious about it. So as I said, I decided to do this because I have a lot of free time in my hands, and I wanted to challenge myself a little bit, but I know it's very unlikely that I'm going to be able to maintain this long term. But I'm decided for April at least, and so far I am enjoying it. Oh, I didn't tell you actually, but I don't know, I started diamond painting right away and I didn't even tell you, but I am right now doing Primrose by Alphonse Mucha. Oh my god, it's such a pretty image. I remember that back when I discovered diamond painting, and specifically when I discovered Diamond Art Club, I went through all of the paintings, like new and old, and basically I just went to the section that says all the diamond paintings, at least that ones that were not out of stock, or no, not out of stock, out of like printing, like the ones that were coming back, the ones that said out of stock. And I went through so many, and this one was one of the first ones that I put in my cart. This one's along with the seasons. I don't remember, I think they're not all the seasons are done by Diamond Art Club. At least I don't remember I've seen them all, but I want all that Diamond Art Club has done. Oh, my hand, oh my god, my hand. Yeah, so I've had this diamond painting for such a long time in my wish list, and when it came back in stock, I knew that I wanted, you know, I knew that I was going to get some diamond paintings. I just didn't know which ones. And just in time, this one and also Ghost Cafe came back in stock, and it was like, yeah, I have to right now. So I got them, and I decided, ever since I ordered them from the page, I kind of already knew that I wanted to start with this one. I said like, okay, that's kind of like my hunch, but I'm gonna wait until I unbox them and see them in real life, and then I'll go with my vibe, because that's the way I work with vibes and stuff. I mean, with my own intuition type of thing. So I remember that I unboxed first Ghost Cafe, and I really loved it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm in trouble. I thought I was going to start with the other one, but then I opened this one and I was like, yeah, definitely. I knew it. I mean, I know myself, and I knew from the beginning that this was the one that I wanted to start with. So this is the one that I started with out of those two, and I I am enjoying it so much. I think that this one is really great because there are places where there is quite some confetti, like places that have a lot of flowers and details, but it also has a lot of color blocking. So that, for me, that makes it enjoyable. I am someone who enjoys both things in moderation, but I can definitely work on large sections or on large sizes of either one or the other. But I thought that this one has a great balance. Like, I'm right now in a place, like, as you can see, all of this is color blocking, but I'm going to be moving to another place that has more confetti. And I think that having that kind of, how do you say that word in English? When one is meshed in between, like one thing and then the other intertwined. I don't know if that would be the correct word to say, but I think that the combination of the two and changing from one to the other in a short period of time is making this work, this diamond painting go really quickly and also really enjoyable, which is the ultimate goal for me, to enjoy it. So yeah, I'm having such a great time. I thought, like, when I first got it, I didn't know that it had a lot of colors, kind of like peachy colors and stuff like that. And when I saw it in real life, that worried me a little bit because browns are not my favorite one, and it doesn't have that many browns, but it goes all into one specific palette of colors. But so far I have been enjoying it quite a lot. I would say, let me see how many rows I've made. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 is the third one. One. Yeah, I think I'm in my 4th row. I don't know exactly because I don't measure them with like tape or anything. I just eyeball it, kind of how I think I would like the sections to look like while I work on them. So I think I'm in the 4th row, right? 1, 2, yeah, I'm definitely in the 4th row right now, and I'm having a blast. I'm in the middle. Each row I divided by 3, and so I'm in the middle one. And I would say I have this section over here. This one I completed really quickly, but the rest is more confetti-ish, so it's gonna take me a little more to finish that, but it's completely fine. I'm not feeling overwhelmed or anything. And actually, coming into this painting, at first I thought it was going to be like very big, but now that I think about it, this is 40 something wide and 104 tall. And the last diamond painting that I did was 104 or 103 or 100 and something. The last large piece, and this one is basically half of that because it is really thin. It is not as wide as the other one. So at the end, it's, if you take the area of it, is not, definitely not the area of the other one. So it's very manageable, I believe. I think that today I'm going to be able to finish this entire row, like this section that I'm working on, and another row. And probably during the weekend I'm going to be able to finish I think another row and a half, if not 2 rows entirely. It all depends on how my weekend goes, but it's been a pleasure. It's been so good. And also, I didn't realize that I missed squares. Every time when I go from doing a few diamond paintings on just one shape, like either just rounds or just squares for a while, I kind of forget how it feels to work on the other shape, and I kind of also get a bit scared on whether or not I'm going to, let's say, remember, if you will, quote unquote, how to work with that diamond shape. I don't know why I feel that. It's weird, but it's my thought process, I guess. So the start of this one was definitely the one that the part that I kind of struggled a little bit with, because, you know, you go from rounds that are more forgiving with the placement and with everything, and then you go directly to squares with a large-ish image and all of these details. Yeah, you have to get yourself used to the image, to the shape of the diamond. But regardless, I actually I'm enjoying quite a lot working on squares, and the pop, it's just amazing. And the next painting that I have, of Diamond Art Club is also squares, that is Ghost Cafe, but I have a lot of budget kits that are rounds. So I think I have my balance there. I think that once I get to half of this, I'm going to be doing a budget one. At least that's my idea so far. It depends on my mood and at the moment, like when I get to that point, what I decide to do. But that's kind of how I think I'm going to be working on it. So, oh, this is stuck there. But yeah, I am really, really enjoying it. This is a bit of a older image. It's not new release whatsoever, but it definitely tells you that. I mean, I realize that it doesn't matter if it's an old diamond painting. I mean, old quotes, heavily quoted on that, but for me is what I wanted, is what I love since I saw it, and I'm just so happy with it. So, oh, I heard sounds and I thought it was my apartment, but it's not. Other thing that I'm noticing with this one is that there are places with so many details that I have encountered a few colors that have such a small amount of drills that whenever I'm going to work on a section with that color, I'm just super worried. I eye the container kind of cautiously because I'm like, there's no way these are going to be enough diamonds for this section. It's just no way at all. And one example of that, let me show you. Okay, I have this one, like these two. Can you see? There are barely any diamonds in it. And whenever I pour the diamonds into the tray and then I look at the area that I have to cover with them, my mind is like, how am I gonna do it? It's impossible. But then I place them and I'm like, oh, okay, they were enough. I mean, I don't have to worry about that because of course I have the Diamond Art Club guarantee, but it still worries me. Yes, that's what the correct way to say it, I think, because I've never had that issue before. And I'm still really scared because I don't know if further down the line I'm gonna have more of that color in some place, but oh well. This is the most adventurous thing I do. Like, oh well, let's see if I have enough diamonds for my diamond painting. But yeah, it's the first time that happens to me. It's the first time that I've ever been afraid of running out of drills with the Diamond Art Club diamond painting. But yeah, so another sort of tragedy that happened. So if you've been watching my videos for a little bit, you guys must know that I am constantly looking for a job. I am very specific with the type of job that I want or the specifications because of some personal reasons. And I found one that it was just perfect. It was a remote position. I was going to be able to use my knowledge, my degree, and I was like, oh my god, this is great. I like the pay is great and everything. And they sent me an email telling me that they took a look at my CV and everything, and I did some online assessments because they had to assess my level of English and other stuff as well. And I was like, oh great, they got back to me and they said, oh, we would like to schedule an interview on this day at this time. And I was like, oh yes, great, perfect. And I was really, oh my god, I feel so silly. I was so, I don't know how to explain it even, but I was stressed, but I was also confident in myself, and I was getting ready. I was getting prepared. Like, I took a shower, I dressed up. I mean, not dressed up, but I dressed properly instead of just a baggy t-shirt, you know? And I was getting ready, and then I go to my mail and I see that they sent me a link to the Google Meet because it was going to be a virtual interview. And I say that it says 1 p.m. EST, and I am in CST. So by the time I went to my mail and wanted to click on the link of the Google Meet, it was already 1 hour and 45 minutes after the official hour of the interview. So there's that. I made that big, huge mistake. And I felt very, very silly. And I was being really mean to myself, and that is not correct, but I have to accept that I was very mean to myself in that situation because I felt really dumb. I said like, oh my God, you have here in front of you a great opportunity that you have been waiting for, and you just, because of you were just being distracted, you were not paying enough attention, you lost it. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to explain to them what happened and ask them if we could reschedule because I'm very interested in the position. And so I sent an email, and I'm just here crossing my fingers and telling my boyfriend what happened because he was at work. And they answered me quite quickly in about 20-30 minutes or so, and they agreed to reschedule me. So I was like, oh my God, yes. I just could breathe again. And that appointment, I have it on Sunday. A little bit earlier this time, I already wrote it and put everything down in place so I don't make the same mistake again. But then after that, I said like, okay, maybe this is some sort of sign or something. I don't want to feel overconfident in this position or anything. So let me do a quick job search in the next 20-30 minutes. And so I did. And I found one that it was not similar at all, but it also was something that I could use my degree in. And the only kind of very strict qualification that they were asking for is for me to have for the candidate to have good English, like a C1 or C2 level, which is kind of like advanced, proficient and almost there, or almost close to the native level of it. And as I said, that was the only kind of very harsh requirement. It said in between parentheses, like, please do not apply if you do not have at least this level of English. And I was like, of course I have it, because one of the things that I am really, really confident about is that I know English. I can be not very confident with many things, but I know English. So I said, yeah, I'm perfect for this. And the salary was great. And even though my preferred position was remote, that didn't say that it was remote, but I said, you know what? It's great hours. It is not crazy hours like in other places. And even if it's not remote, it's perfect because it starts early and you finish early and you don't have to stay there for so many hours. It was kind of perfect for me. And today at 9 something a.m., I got a call, and it was from that job. So we scheduled an interview at noon. At noon, I was actually going to record my WIP and CHAT, but I didn't because I had that interview. And I did very great, I think. I hope. And after that, they sent me a few, they sent me all the information to keep up with the process. I had to send some paperwork, and I had to send my references and my CV and a cover letter and a few other stuff. And during the interview, this lady, like the HR lady, told me that the position was actually remote, but that they were not putting that it was remote because they needed someone to live in the city that I live in, because they provided you with the equipment and you had to go for the equipment and everything, but that you can do the work completely from home. And I was like, oh, that's actually even more perfect for me, because it means that I don't have to go out from my house and I don't have to wake up as early, because the position starts quite early. But, it's not the same having to wake up early to go to an office than having to wake up early to go to your second bedroom where your computer is, So I sent all of that. I also sent like a sort of video resume where I had to talk. They said that it was more to see my level of English. And that took quite a while because I had to redo my CV in English and edit some stuff in and some stuff out, do my cover letter. That it took me quite a while. I did the video thing, and gosh, it was tiring. And I already had a rough morning because yesterday was a very bad night. I had a lot of pain and I struggled a lot to sleep. I went to bed really, really late, so it was a very slow waking up process for me. I also had to do some stuff around the house that was a mess. It still is a little bit of a mess, but yeah, I had to do many things, like many kind of paperwork type of things. So that is kind of draining, but I think that I did well, and I am hoping for that position because it would be sort of exactly what I've been looking for. And yeah, it would just be great, basically. So I right now have to wait. They told me that after I sent everything in, they were going to, the process was going to take a few days after I sent everything, and that they were going to contact me for another interview with other people. I don't know, but I'm just hoping that everything goes well. And of course, I also have this other interview of this first place, this original place that I had applied for on Sunday, and I will see how that goes. And either one of those, I would really be happy if I got in any of those two, because the salary is basically the same. The only difference is the time, the hours, but still, they're both remote positions. So as long as it's remote, I am absolutely happy. So I hope I can have good news on that. I am trying to be very hopeful, and I am trying to be confident in myself, being confident in my abilities and in my CV and all of that. So we'll see what happens. Oh gosh, that was so much talking, but I have right here my beautiful Coke, my beautiful Diet Coke. I just love Diet Coke. It's unreal. Okay, what color is next? This one. But it only has 2 drills. Whenever it's only like 1 or 2 drills, I just take them directly from the container. Like so. Great. I think I need to change the thingy on the top. I actually want to buy glue dots. I've resisted so much to get glue dots, but I think the time might be coming. Probably not. We'll see. We will see. What else did I do? Something very out of my comfort zone that I did this week was I bought makeup for the first time in years. Like proper makeup, other thing than a lip balm or a gloss or something like that. The only type of makeup that I had beforehand were I forgot the word. 2 lip, it's not a lip balm, is not a lip gloss, a lip liner, no, a lip, oh my god, what is that called? Why did I forget the word for that? Jesus, such a simple word. My point being that I bought makeup because I don't use makeup. Like, I don't wear makeup. I don't used to own any makeup at all, other than some EOS lip balm or chapstick or stuff like that. But my cousin is getting married on the 12th, like next Friday. Wow, bless him. Next Friday. And after that, I have my best friend's wedding. She is actually going to have 2 or 3 parties. I am not even sure. She's crazy, but she's gonna have more than 1 party. That's the point. So I'm gonna be attending at least 3 weddings, and my original plan was to just go somewhere to get my makeup done. And then I said, well, if I get my makeup done at least 3 times, that's gonna cost even more than if I just got the makeup and did the makeup myself. Am I going to be looking like a clown? Probably. But, you know, if I get it beforehand, you know, with some time to spare, I can practice and I can end up with not such a horrible look on my face. So I order a few things, and I actually send my sister, my youngest sister. She has loved makeup her entire life, ever since she was very, very little. And mind you, I have a 12-year-old gap with my sister in age. So I am 30 and she's going to be 18 in May, and she's been wearing makeup since she was very little. She has always had an interest in makeup, so she knows her stuff. And I just sent her a message to ask her kind of what base color for her face she used, because we have a very similar like skin color. My skin color is very different from my mom. My mom has more like yellow hues, and we have more of a pinkish hue. And my other sister, her skin is actually a little bit darker. She has definitely the skin from her dad's side. She's a little, so I'm definitely not a match with her skin color whatsoever. And I asked her for help with that one, telling her like, which color do you think would suit me best, would look best for me? And then I showed her kind of like the makeup that I was thinking about, and some examples, and I decided on something, and the rest I picked up myself, because even though I don't wear makeup, I have always been a beauty guru watcher. I don't know why. It's just entertaining to see people review things, basically. Do the unboxings like, oh, we got this from this, or a haul or something. Even though I don't do the makeup on myself, I know what everything you use for every, like, contour and highlighter and a base and translucent powder and all of these things. And yeah, so I kind of sent her a screenshot of all my, I bought everything on Amazon. I didn't even bought it like in person. I sent her a screenshot of my cart in Amazon, and she was like, yeah, it's fine, I approve. So I got approval of my 17-year-old sister. But yeah, basically I am cheap, and I decided that it was going to be cheaper to buy makeup and apply it myself at least 3 times than to pay at least 3 times for someone to do my makeup. And if at the end I don't use the makeup anymore, or if I see that I'm not going to be using the makeup anymore, which is a very, very, very high probability, I can just give the makeup to my sisters. You know, I can just say like, yeah, the blush for you, the highlighter for you. I have just 2 sisters, but they both enjoy a lot to apply makeup. And yeah, I got a few things. It was not very expensive, and I got everything from Amazon. And so I only have one thing left to come in the mail, and that is a translucent powder. The rest I got the last couple of days, and yesterday I got finally the base for my face. It's a liquid base, and when I got it, I in the same Amazon run, I guess, I got some stuff, like we got some stuff, well, my boyfriend got some stuff that he needed for some stuff that he was doing, and he didn't tell me that he was going to pick it up. And once everything got to me, like my makeup, I said, okay, it's my first time to properly practice. And so I started to practice, but he didn't tell me that he was going to come home. And then out of nowhere, I hear the door opening, and I am looking like a clown. I mean, I think I did quite a decent job considering that I don't have experience wearing makeup, but I was so embarrassed because I don't wear makeup, and he's not used to see me in makeup. I am not used to see myself in makeup. And I just panicked, and I locked myself in the bathroom. Jeez. Let me move you a little bit because I finished with that section. I don't think I'm going to go for longer, just a few more minutes, I think, but I don't want to just talk. I want to do some more diamond painting. So as I said, I panicked. I completely panicked. And that was really embarrassing if you ask me. But yeah, apparently I didn't do that bad of a job, because I told him, like, I finally got out and I said, like, do I look different? Do I look bad? How do I look? And then he was like, oh, it just looks like you have a filter in your face. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Yeah, he's weird, but aren't we all, basically? So today I'm supposed to get my setting powder. That's the last thing that I'm supposed to get for that, and after that I am going to be practicing on my face every single day until the wedding day. Hopefully I do at least a decent-ish job. And if I end up not liking it, it's fine. I don't like makeup anyway. I might just end up putting like some blush and lip balm and lip gloss or something, and maybe mascara, and that's it. I don't really care that much. I just wanted to be more prepared for the occasion. So yeah, there is that. I think that's all I have to tell you for now. I've had a few eventful situations going on, spicing life up a little bit. And that's been it. I am, the things that I have been doing regarding other hobbies. I'm still watching true crime 24/7. I am still not watching anything new on Netflix. I think the next new thing that I'm going to watch on Netflix, other than, thriller, no, not thriller, but like documentaries on crimes or anything, it's going to be Bridgerton, like the next season. And I'm thinking about rereading all of the Bridgerton books, but I don't know. I don't think I will. I read them back in 2021, I think. Yeah, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it must have been probably, I don't know, I want to say May, perhaps. No clue. I don't remember the exact dates. I just know that I read them all. And they were funny. I mean, not funny. They were fun. It's different, funny and fun. They were entertaining. They were okay. Just a quick read. Wait, I need to place that correctly. So, I don't know. I don't think I want to reread them. But I had that in the back of my mind. But I don't think I will at the end. I think I'm just going to watch next season as it comes and enjoy it. Because, is kind of chick flick in the... Is it Victorian era or Edwardian era? One of those. In my mind, I mean, I know it's not the same, but... in the olden age, basically. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for coming along my WIP and CHAT to some of the updates that I've had going on in my life. Hopefully a few things go good, regarding my job and my makeup application for the wedding. I guess I'll let you know, not next Friday, because next Friday at this time I should be getting ready for the wedding. It would be until the next one. Well, or maybe I'm just gonna forget completely. Who knows? Oh, and something interesting about my cousin's wedding is the first time that my boyfriend is going to be meeting my extended family. Like, he of course knows my kind of basic family. That sounds rude. My mom and my sisters. He knows them, and he knows my dad as well. But he doesn't know my cousins and my aunts and all that. So my family is quite something. It's quite something else. Even though we're both Latinos and from the same state and the same, pretty much many things the same, our families are so different. But yeah, I just hope he's going to do okay. Like, my entire family knows I'm a bit weird, and they always tell me like, oh, he has to be a bit weird if he's with you, and I'm like, yeah, I guess. So yeah, they're not gonna it's just going to be very interesting for me to see that interaction. It's going to be quite fun, I believe. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. So, okay, now, I am rambling more than I thought I was going to. So, again, thank you so much for watching this video, this WIP and CHAT, and hopefully, as I said, hopefully everything goes my way, or if not my way, in a way that is going to end up working out. That's the ultimate goal, right? Keep on diamond painting and enjoy your weekend, and let me know down below, what could I let you What should you write down below? Just put some flower emojis if you got to this point. You probably are not going to, but if you got to this point, just write down some flower emojis in honor of Primrose. And see you all guys on another video. Bye bye.